Hello and welcome back to Gotham Sound's coverage of NAB 2025 here with Clearcom and James Schaller. James, how are you?
And thank you for Gotham, great ones, for showing up again and being so thorough and always, educating your customers and our customers. We thank you for taking that time and effort. It's a big deal, and we know how much work goes into it, so thank you.
Well, thanks for not kicking us out. We appreciate that. So tell us what's new.
What's new? Well, we have a lot new at Clearcom. This is a big show for us this year, and to start off, we're going to show you for FreeSpeak, our flagship wireless intercom. We have the Icon Beltpack. Okay, so the Icon Beltpack is really an 8-key Beltpack, actually 8.5, and I'll get to the half. But basically, we have A, B, and C, D, which is very similar to people who use our 4-key Beltpacks. But then on the top here, we have 4 additional soft keys that can be assigned to any channel. They can be program, they can be a voice of God, they can be a radio, anything you can invent, you can put on those soft keys as well. And then a haptic reply key, which also can be kind of a halfway, so you can listen and talk out on that. So as far as setting your listen levels, you have 2 rotary encoders here on either side, okay? And then you have these up and down arrow keys that also give you command over the listen levels for these 4. Feature set on here, well, obviously it's a color display. And on the bottom, once you set your gain structure up on those 8 channels, you're going to want an easy way to set that overall master when it's obviously something's too loud or you can't hear. And right here, we have a physical master listen level control. We still have the flashlight for those of you who get lost in the dark. Battery length on this is about 20 hours. It's different. And I should point that out. Whereas our 4-key Beltpack was a lithium battery inside, this actually has a battery that's actually built into the body of the Beltpack. And that length of time on that is conservatively 20 hours. So for those of you working those short 20-hour days, you're going to be covered.
Well, let's hope nobody goes more than that. So that's an integrated battery. So there's a battery charger for it. Is that correct?
Right. So you have to take the battery out to charge it. Yeah, you can't just drop it in a holster. You have to take the batteries out and charge them.
Got it. Cool.
So that's Icon. Whoops, we timed out again. So that's Icon. Long time coming. While we're on the Beltpack side, new for HelixNet is a 4-channel PartyLine Beltpack. Right there. And it's pretty straight ahead. You have 4 channels available on the top level. And if you assign program to an additional channel, because remember, there are 24 channels available in HelixNet, you have a separate control. There's an up and down arrow control here that can set your program level. So you have talk, 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 talk. You have 4. There you go. You can see the up and down arrow keys there. So all the features people know and love about HelixNet Digital PartyLine, 4 channels. And I might also want to point out that we've been showing, it gets a little lost in the shuffle though since last year, this power supply here, which is the power line. So this is the 3-pin XLR power for HelixNet as well. So I'm not going to pick that up, but it's an RJ45 on the Beltpack for your network connections. But if you want to use a 3-pin XLR, you can then daisy chain. Okay, so that you can basically take, and we have a lot of applications, tech tables and different types of venues where they get the network connection, but instead of having to drop a separate cable to every Beltpack, we just do a loop through and do a daisy chain up to 8 on here. And so it's an easy way to throw some digital PartyLine Beltpacks down.
Rock and roll. Now, let me ask you, before we move on to this, what is an example of, like, with the 8-button PartyLine, what are you using all of those buttons for? So are they 4 different talk paths? Do you have 8 different talk paths? What are you?
You can have all this. And, think of it, we kind of jokingly call it the boss Beltpack. Because we know on every production, I think Peter was the one that got me on this one, there are certain people who really can never have enough talk paths, right? It's certainly not for everybody. I would not give this Beltpack to especially someone who gets lost on a 4-key Beltpack. So, but to answer your question, Nick, there's a lot of folks will have their primary production channels. They'll maybe have an engineering channel. They'll have privates too. In theater, they'll have like carpenters. They'll have costume, wardrobe. They'll have directs. And something that's very important to know on The Arcadia, it's really under the hood. It's a hybrid of a Matrix and a PartyLine Wrangler. Okay, so with 100 channels in there, you can set up a whole lot of party lines. But because we borrow the Matrix technology from our Matrix products, you can do point-to-points. So when we do a point-to-point, so you can set up some of these keys here very easy. Like in a lot of productions, you'll see a stage manager wants to have a director. There might be a producer in the wings who wants to be able to have a private to a director sitting there. And so those types of keys. Also, like, you know, stage announce, voice of God, radio. Okay, so we'll have radios. We actually have, we're going to have a key on here soon that we'll be able to have a dark mode. So we have dark mode added in this belt pack, but coming out a little later in the year will actually be, you can put it on a top level key.
And that has the same Bluetooth headset that the FreeSpeak Beltpack
that again?
Has the same Bluetooth headsets that FreeSpeak
we're now
has?
the latest version of Bluetooth 5.3 or 5.7. I think it's 5.3, and that has the AirPods Pro, which was a lot of people were saying, "Can you do that one?" And we finally were able to get to that.
Finally did. Okay.
So that's Beltpacks.
All right, and let's talk about this guy.
This bad boy is Arcadia. Arcadia is probably right now Clearcom's, we call it our central station, and it really unites everything. We don't have to go more, we can just do more and more and more. And so what is really unique, we're showing this year, this at NAB, is the ability to bring the Matrix panels from our Eclipse line. And right here we have a 12-key rotary panel, but we have lever key panels, we have rotary panels, we have push button panels, and we have them 12-key panels, we have 24-key panels, and you can even get the density of a 32-key panel, which gives you a lot of key pane surface, so you have a lot of channels will be able to be monitored. Audio positions are big ones for this. Even if you take even a small production and you have 12 to 14 PLs, okay, and you have a few point-to-points, now you can have all of these basically available to you. And, you know, you're basically connecting now, as we're showing. I'm pushing a button here on the Arcadia, and we have a direct connect to the Arcadia platform itself. So this is a big deal for Arcadia. There are differences. One thing to bring out is if you have one of our Matrix key panels on an Eclipse, a Matrix, there are more under the hood features. For instance, there are 9 shift pages on the Eclipse version, and on the Arcadia version, they're not available. So there are still some things under the hood that if you have a really big system and you need that kind of heavy lifting in a key panel, you really should be using a Matrix. But for the rest of us mere folk, right, mere mortals who are using Arcadias, this is going to be a very, very big and a very helpful tool for those folks. So as I was showing you, we've already done, the connections are done. Really, we're looking at field trials in June with a release midsummer, and it's really about finishing up the pick and shovel work on the GUI. The GUI's the same. We're just adding that ability, as you would know, on our GUI to have all the different form factors of the 4-key belt pack and the HelixNet belt pack. We're adding like all the different panel sizes. So we have quite a few: the 12-key, the 24-key, the 32-key. So that's kind of what they have their sleeves rolled up and they're doing right now.
Okay. And what's the, so this is shipping now, right?
Yes. Very important. This is actually shipping. We just had our first products rolled out of the factory 2 weeks ago.
And this is shipping soon?
This is going to be shipping. This is going to be released at the same time this is, and because they're tied together, the same firmware upgrade, and that's why it's midsummer. So,
I see. And then this is shipping, so they're both shipping
they're going to come out together midsummer. And I said field trial. This is already in field trials. This goes into field trials early June.
Got it.
So Arcadia continues to grow in terms of scale, where, in terms of IP ports, FreeSpeak belt packs, antennas, bigger, bigger, bigger.
Bigger, better. All right, perfect. James, anything else?
I think that about wraps it up. Thank you so much again.
All right, brilliant.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for taking the time. Thank you all for watching. You can watch this video again and more at gothamsound.tv. Follow us on all the social media platforms. Email us at info@gothamsound.com if you'd like to be in touch. And if you are considering purchasing beautiful communications equipment, professional sound equipment, or production equipment, please consider using Gotham Sound.